The cake knife slipped from my trembling fingers and clattered against the porcelain plate, shattering the fragile silence like a gunshot in a confessional. "Happy birthday to me," I whispered, my voice cracking as the words hung in the air, tasting like ash and regret. In that split second, as the vanilla frosting smeared across the white linen tablecloth of my family's Upper East Side dining room, I realized I just sliced open the biggest lie of my life. And Jamie, my best friend since we were kids stealing baseball cards from corner bodegas in Queens, was staring at me with eyes that said he knew everything. It was the summer of 2015, and New York City was pulsing with that relentless humidity that makes the sidewalks shimmer like they're about to boil over. I'd turned 25 that morning, waking up in my cramped one-bedroom in Bushwick to the sound of garbage trucks rumbling like distant thunder. The apartment was a testament to my quarter-century of scraping by. Posters of indie bands peeling at the edges, a stack of unpaid bills teetering on the windowsill, and a single wilting pothose plant that I'd named Hope in a fit of ironic optimism. I'd landed a junior copywriter gig at a midtown ad agency 6 months earlier. Nothing glamorous, but it paid for the overpriced oat milk lattes and the occasional escape to Coney Island where the salt air could wash away the city's grit. Jamie and I had been inseparable since high school, back when we were both awkward outliers in a sea of J.Crew-wearing prepsters at St. Francis Prep. He was the golden boy, the one with the easy laugh, the volleyball captain's build, and that effortless charm that made teachers forget his skipped assignments. I was the shadow, the kid with the thrift store specs and a notebook full of half-baked poems about boys who looked like him but never noticed me back. We'd bonded over late-night runs to the all-night diner on Northern Boulevard, splitting greasy fries and dreaming about escaping to the big leagues. Him as a pro athlete, me as the next great American novelist. But life had a way of handing out participation trophies instead. That birthday invitation to my parents' brownstone was a rare summons. Mom, Eleanor, the impeccable real estate broker with her pearls and power suits, had insisted on family tradition, whatever that meant in a house where Dad's Wall Street silences spoke louder than words. My older sister, Becca, was flying in from Boston with her husband and their toddler, a tiny tornado named Liam who could disarm even Dad's perpetual scowl. And Jamie? I'd begged him to come, half joking that without him, it'd be like Thanksgiving without the turkey, stale and obligatory. He'd shown up at noon, arms loaded with a bakery box from Levine, his grin as wide as the East River. 25, huh? You're officially too old to blame your screw-ups on youth, he'd teased, ruffling my hair like we were still 14. God, he looked good in that faded Mets tee and cargo shorts, his skin bronzed from weekend pickup games in Prospect Park. I felt that familiar twist in my gut, the one I'd been ignoring since college, when a drunken confession at a frat party had nearly torpedoed our friendship. "You're like my brother Alex," he'd said then, clapping me on the back a little too hard. Brother. The word had lodged in my throat like a fishbone. The dinner unfolded like a well-rehearsed play. Crystal glasses clinking with Dad's vintage Cabernet, Mom's roasted Cornish hens glistening under the chandelier, Becca cooing over Liam's crayon scribbles on the linen napkins. We laughed about old family vacations, the disastrous Grand Canyon road trip where Dad's RV broke down in a sandstorm, and swapped stories of millennial misadventures. Jamie fit in seamlessly, charming Mom with tales of his latest bartending shift at that hipster speakeasy in the village, where he mixed drinks named after forgotten poets. "To Alex," he toasted midway through, raising his glass with that spark in his blue eyes. "The guy who's gonna make it big, mark my words." Everyone cheered, and for a heartbeat, I believed it. But then came the cake. Mom had gone all out. A towering 3-layer vanilla bean with buttercream roses, inscribed in loopy script, "To our golden boy, 25 and thriving." Golden boy. The irony burned hotter than the 25 candles flickering like accusatory fingers. As we sang the off-key rendition of Happy Birthday, I caught Jamie's gaze across the table, his smile softening into something deeper, something that made my pulse stutter. And that's when it happened. The knife slipped, but it wasn't the utensil that cut deepest. It was the ring on my finger, the one I'd bought impulsively 2 weeks ago at a pawn shop on St. Mark's Place. A simple silver band, engraved with "Forever Yours" in elegant cursive. I'd slipped it on that morning as a talisman, a secret armor against the what-ifs of turning a quarter-century without anyone to call mine. The clatter echoed, and all eyes snapped to me. The ring glinted under the lights, impossible to ignore. Mom's fork froze midair. Dad cleared his throat, that low rumble signaling discomfort. Becca's brow furrowed, her maternal instincts kicking in. And Jamie, oh Jamie, his face drained of color, like he'd seen a ghost. Alex. Mom's voice was a tight wire, her eyes darting to the band like it was a loaded gun. What's that? I opened my mouth, but the words tangled. This was it. The moment I'd rehearsed in the shower 100 times. Steam clouding the mirror as I practiced coming out to the soundtrack of my own heartbeat. But here, in the opulent glow of family legacy, it felt like defusing a bomb with dental floss. It's nothing, I stammered, twisting the ring off like it scalded. Just a prop for a campaign pitch. Ad agency stuff. Jamie didn't buy it. I saw it in the way his jaw tightened. The flicker of recognition that said he'd connected dots I'd buried deep. We'd never talked about it, not really, after that college night. But he'd caught me staring too long at guys in bars, deflecting my flushes with bro hugs that lingered just a beat too much. He knew. The lie hung there, festering. Dinner wrapped up in a haze of forced small talk, plates cleared with mechanical efficiency. Becca whisked Liam off to bed in the guest room. Dad retreated to his study with a gruff, "Proud of you, son." That felt like pity. Mom cornered me in the kitchen, her hands fluttering like trapped birds. "If there's something you need to tell us, Alexander." Her voice trailed, laced with that unspoken fear, the unraveling of the perfect family tapestry. "I love you, Mom," I said, hugging her stiffly. "Everything's fine." Jamie waited outside on the stoop, the July night wrapping around us like a damp blanket. The brownstone's gas lamps cast long shadows, turning his face into a mask of concern. "Dude," he started, lighting a cigarette he swore he'd quit. "That ring. It's not for a pitch, is it?" I leaned against the wrought iron railing, the city hum vibrating through my bones. "What if it's not?" He exhaled smoke toward the stars, avoiding my eyes. "Then why hide it? From them? From me? Because some things you bury to keep the peace." The words tasted bitter. "And you're the one person I thought wouldn't judge." His laugh was hollow, echoing off the facades. "Judge? Alex, I've got your back. Always." But there was a hesitation, a crack in the foundation we'd built over a decade. He stubbed out the cigarette, grinding it under his sneaker. "Come on, let's grab a nightcap. Forget this birthday bullshit." We ended up at our old haunt, the Rusty Anchor, a dive bar in Astoria where the jukebox still played Springsteen and the bartenders poured heavy. It was past midnight when we slid into our corner booth, the vinyl sticky with spilled dreams. Beers arrived unbidden, our usual amber Alesh with lemon twists. Jamie raised his bottle, clinking mine with a grin that didn't reach his eyes. "To 25. May it suck less tomorrow." We talked for hours, the alcohol loosening the knots. He confessed his own ghosts. The pressure from his dad, a retired cop who still called weekly to grill him on real jobs. The string of girlfriends that fizzled like wet firecrackers. "I keep thinking, what's wrong with me?" he said, tracing condensation on his glass. "Why can't I make it stick?" "You're not broken, Jam," I replied, my voice thick. "You're just waiting for the right fit." The irony twisted like a knife. If only he knew how many nights I'd lain awake, mapping constellations on my ceiling, wishing he was the one to fit against me. As the bar emptied, our knees brushed under the table. A casual accident that sent sparks up my spine. He didn't pull away. Instead, he leaned in, his breath warm with hops. "You deserve someone who sees you, Alex. All of you." My heart hammered. Was this the moment? The birthday miracle where best friends became something more? I searched his face, that familiar landscape of freckles and stubble, for a sign. What if I already have? The words escaped before I could cage them. Time fractured. Jamie's eyes widened, then softened, his hand finding mine across the scarred wood. "Alex." But the door banged open, shattering the bubble. In stumbled Marco, Jamie's coworker from the bar. A wiry guy with a sleeve of tattoos and a laugh like shattered glass. "Yo, golden boy. Saw your Insta. Happy freaking birthday." He clapped Jamie on the back, oblivious, then zeroed in on our joined hands. "Whoa, bromance alert. You two finally coming out as soulmates." The joke landed like a sucker punch. Jamie yanked back, his laugh forced and brittle. "Nah, man. Just birthday toasts." He glanced at me, apology flickering, but Marco was already yapping about shots. The night unraveled from there. Marco bought rounds, the tequila burning away the tenderness. By last call, Jamie was slurring stories of exes, his arms slung over Marco's shoulder, while I nursed a water, the ring heavy in my pocket. We cabbed back to Bushwick together, the silence between us thicker than the traffic on the BQE. At my door, he hugged me goodbye, quick, brotherly. "Get some sleep, yeah? We good?" "Yeah." I lied, the word a stone in my chest. "We're good." He vanished into the dawn haze, and I collapsed onto my bed, the city's heartbeat mocking my own. Little did I know, that hug was the last untainted touch we'd share. By noon, my phone would explode with notifications, my world fracturing along fault lines I'd never seen coming. But in that moment, staring at the ceiling cracks, I clung to the illusion. 25 wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Waking to the insistent buzz of my phone felt like emerging from a hangover-induced coma. The screen a blur of missed calls and texts stacking like indictment papers. It was 11:47 a.m., the sun slicing through my thrift store curtains like Judgment Day spotlights. The first message was from Becca. "Call me now. Mom's a wreck." Then Dad, "We need to talk. Family meeting. 6 p.m. sharp." And Jamie, nothing. Not even a "you okay?" emoji. My stomach plummeted. I scrolled frantically, heart jackrabbiting, until I hit the group chat from last night. Marco had posted a blurry photo. Me and Jamie in the booth, hands clasped, his face inches from mine, captioned "Birthday bros getting deep Mets for life whatever happens in Astoria." Innocent enough on the surface, but in the harsh morning light, it screamed intimacy. Below it, comments piled up, friends ribbing, emojis of hearts and winks. Then, buried in the thread, a reply from Jamie's cousin, Tina. "Wait, is this a coming out pic? Face with tears of joy, proud of you boys." The air left my lungs. How had it spread? From a dumb bar selfie to viral family fodder overnight? I bolted upright, dialing Jamie. Voicemail. "Hey, it's me. Call back. Please." Panic clawed up my throat as I pieced it together. Marco must have shown the pic around at the bar after I left. Whispers turning to texts. Texts to Tina's big mouth. And Jamie, had he seen it? Corrected it? Or let it fester? The agency called next. My boss, Trish, blunt as a butter knife, demanded I come in early. Clients antsy about the pitch. And Alex, clean up your socials. We don't need distractions. Distractions. Code for don't queer up the brand. I'd only posted one vague birthday shot, a black and white of the cake, ring cropped out, but guilt by association was the agency's unofficial HR policy. By the time I showered and threw on chinos and a button-down, the subway ride to Midtown felt like a funeral procession. The L train rattled with commuters glued to their feeds, oblivious to the guy white-knuckling his phone, refreshing for Jamie's name. Nothing. At the office, a glass tower fortress of creative egos, Trish met me in the lobby, her bob haircut as severe as her expression. "Your pitch for the craft beer account, it's good, but it's missing edge. And that photo circulating? Not helping your focus narrative." "It's nothing," I echoed last night's lie, the words automatic. "Just friends." She arched a brow, unconvinced. "Fix it, or we'll find someone who can." The meeting dragged, brainstorming slogans like "brewed for the bold." But my mind was elsewhere, replaying Jamie's hand in mine, the almost confession hanging unresolved. Lunch was a sad desk salad, scrolling X, back when it was Twitter, for damage control. Hashtags trended locally. Astoria After Dark, with the pic reposted by bar regulars. One thread dissected it. Is this the new it couple? Gay NYC. My cheeks burned. I tweeted a clarification. Brothers being brothers. Nothing more. Birthday blues. But likes trickled in alongside DMs from old classmates. Finally out, Alex? About time. The closet door I'd cracked was swinging wide. Unbidden. The real gut punch came at 4:17 p.m. A text from an unknown number. Heard about your big night. Careful who you trust. A friend. Attached was a screenshot, Jamie's Instagram story from an hour ago. A gym selfie with the caption, some people just can't handle the truth. Loyalty matters. No pic. But the timing screamed subtext. My thumbs flew. What the hell does that mean? Sent to Jamie. Delivered. Read. No reply. The family meeting loomed like a storm front. I cabbed uptown. The city blurring into streaks of yellow and gray. My mind a whirlwind of worst-case scenarios. Mom greeted me at the door with red-rimmed eyes. Her usual poise cracked like fine china. Alexander inside. Now. The living room felt like an interrogation chamber. Dad in his leather armchair. Becca on the sofa with Liam dozing in her lap. The air thick with unspoken accusations. No Jamie. Where's the cake? I joked weakly, but it died in the tension. Sit, Dad commanded. His voice gravel from years of barking orders on the trading floor. I perched on the ottoman, knees bouncing. Mom clutched a printout. Yes, printout of the bar photo, her manicure digging into the paper. Explain this. It's not what it looks like. The denial was rote now, a reflex. Becca shifted, her lawyer's gaze piercing. Alex, we love you. But if you're struggling with something, we can get help. Therapy. Whatever it takes. Help. The word stung, implying defect. Dad leaned forward, elbows on knees. This isn't about judgment, son. It's about legacy. The family's built on trust. On normalcy. Normalcy. There it was, the American dream codified, white picket fences and 2.5 kids, no room for deviations. I am who I am. I burst out, the dam cracking. And yeah, maybe that photo's a sign. Maybe I'm gay. Maybe I've been hiding it because I knew this conversation would feel like a funeral. The room froze. Liam stirred, whimpering. Mom's hand flew to her mouth, a sob escaping. Dad's face hardened into stone. Gay? He repeated, as if tasting the word for poison. Since when? Since always. Tears blurred my vision. And Jamie, he's my best friend. That's all. But if the world's gonna twist it, fine. I'm done twisting myself. Becca reached for my hand. We're here, Alex. But think about what this means. For jobs. For us. The door buzzer shattered the moment. Mom wiped her eyes, straightening. That'll be Jamie. He insisted on coming. My pulse spiked. Jamie? After radio silence? He breezed in minutes later, all easy confidence, bearing a 6-pack of IPA as peace offering. Hey all. Sorry I'm late. Traffic's a beast. His eyes met mine, a storm behind the calm. Hugs were exchanged, awkward and obligatory, before we settled into an uneasy circle. The talk veered to neutral ground. Liam's teething woes, Dad's golf handicap, but undercurrents pulled strong. Jamie cracked a beer, his knee inches from mine on the rug. Great dinner last night, Mrs. H. That hen? Killer. Mom mustered a smile, but her glances darted, assessing. As the evening wore on, wine loosening tongues, Dad steered us to the elephant. Jamie, you and Alex, thick as thieves. Anything we should know. Jamie's laugh was a shield. Mr. H. Alex's family. I take a bullet for the guy. He clapped my shoulder, the touch electric yet distant. But then the slip. That pic Marco posted? Total misunderstanding. We were just blowing off steam. Alex hears straight as they come. Chicks dig the brooding artist vibe. The room exhaled collectively. Mom's shoulders sagged in relief. Becca nodded, placated. Dad grunted approval. But me, I felt the blade twist. Straight as they come. He'd rewritten me in a heartbeat, erasing the vulnerability we'd shared in that booth. For their comfort. For his. I excused myself to the bathroom, splashing water on my face, staring at the stranger in the mirror. Pale, hollow-eyed, 25 and unraveling. Back in the living room, the conversation had shifted to real estate, Jamie holding court. Our eyes locked as I re-entered. His held a plea. Sorry, it said. Necessary. The night ended with handshakes and air kisses, promises of brunch that rang hollow. Jamie walked me to the stoop again, the air cooler now, stars peeking through the light pollution. Alex, about earlier. Save it. My voice was ice. You outed my lie to protect their delusion. What happened to all of you? He winced, running a hand through his hair. It was instinct. Your family's. Traditional. I didn't want to blow it up on your birthday. My birthday's already blown. I shoved past him, hailing a cab. Call when you figure out whose side you're on. The ride home was a blur of neon and nausea. By the time I crashed into bed, texts from Jamie lit up. Please, talk to me. I panicked. You're my everything. Everything. The word mocked me as sleep claimed, fitful and fraught. Morning brought escalation. Trish's email. Indefinite leave. Social media optics. Fired, essentially, for a photo I couldn't control. Mom's voicemail. We're praying for you, sweetheart. Come home when you're ready. Prayer. As if faith could iron out identity. And Jamie? A single text at dawn. Meet me at the pier. 8 a.m. No bullshit. The Brooklyn Bridge Park Pier, our thinking spot since college. Benches worn smooth by our confessions. I went, fueled by hurt and hope. The East River glittering like shattered promises. He was there, silhouette against the rising sun, hands jammed in pockets. Alex, he started, voice raw. I screwed up. Big time. Which part? Denying me to my family? Or pretending that moment in the bar never happened? Both. He stepped closer, the scent of his cologne. Cedar and citrus, stirring ghosts. Truth? I've been scared too, of what it means if we're. The unfinished sentence hung, charged. My breath caught. Jamie. His phone buzzed, shattering it. He glanced, face paling. Shit, it's Marco. He's posting more. More? Dread coiled. What now? Jamie shoved the phone at me. A video grainy from the bar's security cam. Us in the booth. Hands linked. My lean in, his almost kiss pullback. Caption. Exposed. The real birthday surprise? Astoria T. Brome and or more. The world tilted. Views climbing. 500. 1K. 5K. Comments exploding. Supportive rainbows, vitriolic slurs. My name tagged. Outed to the digital masses. Jamie's eyes met mine, terror mirrored. Alex, I can fix this. Delete it. Talk to Marco. But as notifications surged, I saw the fracture. This wasn't just a slip. It was the spark to our undoing. And in that golden dawn light, with the city awakening indifferent, I wondered if losing everything meant gaining the truth, at the cost of him. The video spread like wildfire through dry California brush. But this was New York. Relentless, unforgiving, turning personal infernos into public spectacles. By noon, my inbox was a war zone. Reporters from local rags sniffing for quotes, old high school bullies resurfacing with "I knew it" jabs, and a flood of strangers, some cheering my bravery. Others spewing venom that made my skin crawl. I muted everything, retreating to the pier's edge, legs dangling over the water as ferries churned past like indifferent whales. Jamie paced behind me, phone in hand, firing off texts to Marco. Take it down. Now. But damage was done. The views hit 50K by lunch, the algorithm feasting on our vulnerability. This is bad, Jamie muttered, sinking beside me, our shoulders brushing in accidental solidarity. Your job. Gone. I cut in, voice flat. Trish confirmed via email while you were playing hero. The words landed heavy, the river's lap mocking our stillness. He flinched. I'll talk to her. Vouch for you. Vouch. Laughter bubbled, bitter. As the straight bestie covering for his gay pal? Thanks. But no. Alex, stop. His hand grazed my arm, tentative. I'm not covering. I'm figuring it out. With you. The sincerity cracked my armor. Just a hair. We'd always navigated storms together. His knee injury senior year, my mom's breast cancer scare. But this was elemental. Identities clashing like thunderheads. Figuring what? That you've spent years dodging what I feel? Or that one blurry vid could torch us both? He stared at the horizon. Manhattan spires piercing the sky like accusations. I don't know what I feel. Not yet. But losing you? That's not an option. The confession hovered, fragile as a soap bubble. For a moment, the world narrowed. Just us, the gulls wheeling overhead, the faint strum of a busker's guitar from afar. I wanted to bridge the gap, to pull him into the truth we'd skirted. But my phone vibrated. Becca? Mom's at the doctor. Stress. Your fault? Call her. Guilt surged. Title. I have to go. Wait. Jamie grabbed my wrist, his grip warm, urgent. Tonight. My place. We'll strategize. Beers, bad movies. Like old times. Old times. The promise tugged. Nostalgic. Fine. But no more fixes, Jam. Just honesty. He nodded, eyes stormy. Honesty. The cab to my parents' was a gauntlet of gridlock, my mind replaying the video in loops. That lean, the pullback, the what if frozen in pixels. Mom was at Lenox Hill. Becca waiting in the sterile lobby with vending machine coffee and a hug that smelled of lavender and worry. She's okay, elevated blood pressure, some arrhythmia. Docs say rest, de-stress. Her eyes searched mine. Alex, the video. It's everywhere. Dad's furious. Not at you exactly. At the exposure. Exposure. I snorted softly. That's what this is to you all? A PR nightmare. No. She squeezed my hand. It's fear. Of losing the son we know. But we don't want to lose you at all. We sat vigil for hours. Mom emerging pale but composed. Her embrace fierce. We'll get through this, golden boy. Golden boy still after everything. No questions on the pier. No probes into the video's truth. Just quiet acceptance. Laced with the unspoken plea. Conform. Survive. Dad arrived late. Tie loosened. Carrying takeout from our favorite Italian spot. Carbonara. My weakness. We ate in the hospital cafe. Forks scraping styrofoam. Conversation skirting the chasm. Agency called. He said finally, around a mouthful. Offered references. Said you're talented, just timing's off. Fired with a side of paternal pity. Thanks, Dad. He cleared his throat. And Jamie, solid kid. Handled the press calls himself. Stonewalled him. Jamie? Handling press? My fork paused. What calls? Reporters sniffing around the brownstone. He intercepted, said it's a hoax. Protected the family name. Protected. Again. The carbonara turned to ash. Hero to them, saboteur to me. I excused myself to the hallway. Dialing him. Straight to voicemail. Text. Press? Hoax? Really? Dots danced. Then. Keeping it contained. For you. See you tonight. Contained. Like I was a spill to mop up. Rage simmered, but exhaustion won. I crashed at the brownstone. Mom's guest room a cocoon of crisp sheets and childhood ghosts. Jamie's walk-up in Greenpoint was a familiar mess. Laundry piles masquerading as modern art. Fridge stocked with craft brews and leftover pizza. He buzzed me up at 9 p.m. The door swinging wide to reveal him in sweats. Hair damp from a shower. A tentative smile. Brought the good stuff. IPA flight from other half. We settled on his sagging couch, the TV flickering with some dumb action flick. Explosions drowning out the awkward. Beers flowed, loosening knots. So, he ventured after the second pint. The video, Marco's a dick, apologized profusely. Said he'd delete, but copies are out there. Out there forever. I sipped. Bitter. Congrats on the family shield, by the way. Hoax, huh? He shifted, uneasy. It bought time. Your dad's stressed. Market's volatile. Didn't want to pile on. My coming out's piling on? The words sharpened. Or just the optics of your best friend being queer? Alex. He set his bottle down, leaning forward, elbows on knees. It's not that. Me. If I admit what I feel, what does that make us? Your family adores me. My folks would disown. And the bar? Half the crowd's old school. Tips dry up fast. Fear. Plain as the freckles on his nose. So you're bi-curious in the closet? While I'm out here bleeding. I'm not. He stopped, exhaling. Maybe I am. Shit. The bar moment? I wanted it. You. But then Marco walks in. And panic hits like a freight train. The admission cracked the dam. Heat flooded my chest. Hope. Hurt. Hunger for more. Then why pull back? Every time. Because I'm terrified of breaking us. His voice broke. Eyes glistening. You're my constant, Alex. The one who sees through the bullshit. If we cross that line and it implodes. It might not. I reached, fingers brushing his. But hiding? That's imploding us now. Silence stretched, charged. The movie droned on, heroes saving the day with firepower and fate. Then, tentative, he laced our fingers. What if we try? Slow. No labels. The kiss started soft. Testing. Like dipping toes in unknown waters. His lips were warm, tasting of hops and hesitation. Then deepening with a sigh that unraveled me. Hands roamed, gentle, exploratory. Mapping shoulders, waists, the safe harbors we'd always been. It wasn't fireworks. It was hearth fire, steady and sustaining. We broke apart breathless, foreheads pressed. This, he whispered. This is worth the risk. Elation surged, but reality nipped at heels. My phone buzzed, unknown caller. I ignored, diving back in. Another buzz. Voicemail light blinked. Later, tangled in his sheets. The city symphony lulling us. I checked. A message from Trish. Client backlash. You're out. Permanently. Good luck. The fall from grace. Swift as a subway gust. Jamie stirred, arm draping over me. Everything okay? Not really. I played it, his face falling in sync. But maybe with you it will be. He pulled me close. We'll rebuild. Together. Dawn brought tentative optimism. Job hunts over coffee. His hand steady on mine as we scrolled listings. But by afternoon, the other shoe dropped. A knock at his door. 2 detectives, badges gleaming. James Riley? Need to talk about that video. Complaints of harassment. Harassment? My blood iced. Jamie paled. What? It's a bar clip. Anonymous tip. Says it's non-consensual sharing. Revenge porn adjacent. They eyed me. You the other party? I nodded, numb. Who tipped? Marco? No, he'd groveled. Then it hit. Jamie's phone, left charging during our interlude. Accessible to anyone crashing his place. The cops left with statements, warnings of charges pending review. Door shut, Jamie slumped against it. This is my fault. I should have locked it. We'll fight it. But doubt crept. Trust, once cracked, spiderwebbed. Evening brought isolation. I returned to Bushwick, walls closing in. Jamie texted updates, lawyer friend on speed dial, but distance grew. Texts cooling from fervent to functional. Days blurred. Unemployment claims. Therapy sessions mom insisted on. A kind queer counselor in Chelsea. Validating without pity. And solitary walks along the High Line, where wildflowers mocked my wilted heart. 2 weeks post-video, climax brewed. A call from Dad. Investor buddy saw the clip. Whispers about ethics. Pulled strings. Your name's mud in ad circles. Blackballed. The American meritocracy, myth busted. Then Jamie. Meet at the old field. Urgent. The Little League diamond in Forest Park. Our childhood sanctum. Bases faded. Dreams buried in infield dirt. He waited on the pitcher's mound. Face ashen. A manila envelope in hand. Read this. Inside, printouts of emails. From Jamie. To his dad. Dated postbar. Alex is spiraling. Thinks he's gay. Got this ring thing. Video's fake, but it's blowing up his life. Need advice. How to snap him out of it. Snap out. Therapy speak for conversion. Betrayal bloomed, Visceral. You emailed your homophobic dad? For advice? I was scared, defensive, cracking. Thought he could help. Tough love, you know? Tough love? That's code for fixing me. Tears hot. You betrayed me. To save face. No. He reached, but I recoiled. I love you, Alex. That's why. Love doesn't outsource hurt. I backed away, the field spinning. We're done. He crumpled, envelope scattering like confetti at a funeral. Please, don't. But I ran. Through twilight woods. Lungs burning, heart shattering. 25, and everything lost. Family fractured. Career cremated. The friend, love, who meant most, mailed away in pixels and panic. The weeks following that Forest Park implosion blurred into a grayscale montage of survival mode. Cardboard boxes of ramen in my Bushwick cave, freelance gigs ghostwriting LinkedIn profiles for execs who wouldn't touch me with a 10-foot pole, and nights where sleep came in fits, haunted by Jamie's silhouette on the mound, envelope fluttering like white flags of surrender. New York, that supposed city of reinvention, felt like a funhouse mirror, distorting my reflection into a cautionary tale whispered in coffee shops and co-working spaces. Heard about that ad guy? The video? Yeah, don't hire him. Mom called daily, her voice a tightrope of concern and caution. We're here, Alex. Dad's looking into options. A specialist in Connecticut. Discreet. Conversion therapy veiled in clinical euphemisms. I declined, each refusal carving deeper into the family fault line. Becca mediated, her texts a lifeline. Give them time. Liam drew you a picture. A superhero with a rainbow cape. Small mercies, but the chasm yawned. Jamie tried. God, did he try? Bouquets of sunflowers, my favorite, he remembered. Left at my door with notes. I'm sorry doesn't cut it, but I'm trying. Voicemails raw with regret. Therapy, Alex. I'm seeing someone. Unpacking my crap. Blocked numbers, deleted apps, boundaries I'd never enforced before. But love, treacherous thing, lingered in the periphery. A Mets game on TV triggering his laugh in my head. A craft beer aisle evoking his toast. Rock bottom hit in late August. Humidity breaking into autumn's crisp teas. A bar crawl with new lies from the counselor's group. Queer creatives nursing wounds over gin and tonics. Turned maudlin. You're free now, one said. A tattooed graphic designer named Riley. Own it. Free. The word echoed hollow as I stumbled home. The video resurfacing in my feed. Not the original, but a meme-ified edit. Our faces photoshopped onto Titanic's bow. Bromance sinks ship. Laughter emoji barrage. I hurled my phone, screen cracking like my resolve. Morning brought clarity, sharp as shattered glass. Enough. I booked a one-way ticket to LA, city of second acts, where palm trees whispered reinvention and the ocean could swallow secrets. Mom wept over FaceTime. What about us? Dad grunted ambivalence. Call when you land. Becca wired cash. For the superhero cape. The flight was purgatory. Recycled air thick with strangers' anxieties. My tray table a canvas for doodling escape routes. LAX greeted with smoggy sprawl. A far cry from JFK's frenetic pulse. I crashed at a hostel in West Hollywood. Neon-lit bunks humming with accents. A community board plastered with queer open mics and pride afterparties. No pitying glances. Here, stories like mine were badges, not burdens. First week, hustling. Coffee runs at Intelligentsia morphed into pitches at boutique agencies in Silver Lake. Edgier shops hungry for authentic voices. Rejection stung, but softer. Love the vulnerability. Keep submitting. Nights, I wandered Runyon Canyon, city lights sprawling below like neural networks firing possibilities. Therapy via Zoom with my NYC counselor. Grief's nonlinear, Alex. Let it flow. Jamie pierced the bubble sporadically. A postcard from Brooklyn. Saw a shooting star. Wished for you. I burned it in the hostel's communal sink. Ashes swirling like unsent replies. But curiosity gnawed. One weak moment, I unblocked, scrolling his feed. Jim's selfies scarcer. More candid shots of sunsets. Captions cryptic. Learning to stand alone. Progress or performance. October unfurled golden. LA's endless summer yielding to Santa Ana winds that stripped eucalyptus leaves like old skin. I landed a gig. Content strategist for a nonprofit, Out West Youth, amplifying LGBTQ plus stories in the Inland Empire. Modest pay, but purpose-pulsed. Office in a converted warehouse. Rainbow flags fluttering, interns brewing matcha with fervor. My boss, Lena, a no-nonsense Latina dyke with a sleeve of Frida Kahlo tats, saw through my polish. You've got fire, kid. Channel the hurt. The work healed in layers. Scripting PSAs on family rejection, interviewing kids who'd couch-surfed after coming out. One evening, editing footage of a trans teen's monologue, I lost my home, but found my voice. Jamie's face superimposed, unbidden. Loss as liberation. I texted him, impulsive, got a job. LA suits me. No reply for days. Then, proud. Miss you. Miss you. The hook sank deep. Holiday season loomed. Thanksgiving a specter. Becca's invite to Boston. Mom's plea for neutrality. I opted solo. Turkey sandwich on Venice Beach. Waves crashing like applause. But solitude amplified echoes. On Black Friday, scrolling X, I stumbled on a live thread. NYC gay scandal. Dredging the video. Comments evolved, less vitriol, more support, but a new angle. Jamie's interview snippet with a podcaster, voice modulated but unmistakable. It was a wake-up. Lost my best friend. Gained self-awareness. If you're listening, Alex, I'm out. For real. The word detonated. I played the clip, heart thundering, him in a studio, recounting the bar night, the emails, the therapy breakthrough. I was scared of my own feelings. Bi specifically. And for him, it was love, disguised as brotherhood. Vulnerable, raw, no hero edit, just a man owning wreckage. Tears came, hot and unbidden. Pride warred with pain. He'd grown without me. I called, fingers trembling. Voicemail, hey, heard the podcast. Brave. I forgive you. Mostly. He rang back at midnight PST 3 a.m. his time, voice sleep rough. Alex? God, your voice. We talked till dawn my time. Words tumbling like long withheld rain. Apologies layered. Regrets excavated. Laughter piercing grief. LA's teaching me resilience. I said. You should visit. See the canyons. Thought you'd never ask. A beat. But no pressure. Friends first. Friends. I echoed, the word lighter now. With potential. December swept in on elf-eared gusts. WeHo twinkling with rainbow ornaments. Out West's holiday party. Eggnog spiked with queer joy. Karaoke belting, all I want for Christmas is you. With ironic flair. Riley cornered me under mistletoe. Actual mistletoe? Who knew? His grin sly. Heard from Brooklyn boy? I nodded. Evasive. Working on it. Christmas Eve. Palm trees strung with lights. I Skyped the family. Awkward thaw. Dad muttering, Merry Christmas, son. Mom unveiling a quilt. Stitched with NYC skyline and LA sunsets. For your new chapter. Becca's Liam waved a turkey drumstick. Oblivious angel. No politics, just presence. Jamie's gift arrived FedEx. A silver ring, twin to the one-eyed pond. Engraved truth now. Note, no forever, just today. G. I slipped it on, cool against skin, and booked his ticket. New Year's loomed, but climax brewed earlier. A work trip to San Francisco, Out West's annual summit. Panel on betrayal and belonging. My slot squeezed between activists. Nerves jangled as I prepped slides. My story. Anonymized. The birthday blade, the video vortex, the friends fracture. Audience packed. Rainbow coalition. Faces etched with echoes. I spoke, voice steadying. Loss isn't linear. Carve space for growth. But betrayal? That's the scar that teaches boundaries. Q&A turned confessional. A young man in the front row, eyes like Jamie's, stormy blue, stood. What if the betrayer changes? Do you let them back in? The question gutted. If the change is real, I said, throat tight. And you're ready to risk again?
Yeah.
Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's choosing. Post-panel, he approached, tall, hesitant, a visitor badge pinned crooked. Alex. Jamie. Time warped. Here, in this sunlit auditorium overlooking the bay, he was real, worn jeans, beanie hiding bedhead, a duffel at his feet. What are you? Flew in. Heard about the summit. Had to see you. His smile trembled. That panel? You slayed. And your answer? To him. To you. The air crackled. Attendees milled, but we were island. Change looks good on you. We walked the Embarcadero, fog rolling off the water like second chances. Alcatraz loomed distant, a reminder of cages escaped. Therapy's brutal, he admitted over clam chowder in sourdough bowls. Unpacked Dad's influence, that toxic man-up crap. And me, projecting fears onto you. Healing's messy. I dipped bread, steam rising. But worth it. Every session. His foot nudged mine under the table. Missed this. Us. The weekend unfolded tentative. Golden Gate fog kisses. Muirwoods whispers where redwoods dwarf doubts. No grand gestures. Just shared silences, hands brushing trails, stories swapped over diner pie. LA or New York? He asked one night, city lights winking below our Nob Hill balcony. Both, I said. Or neither. As long as it's with you. But conflict simmered. My black ball lingered, whispers following to the coast. An agency scout at the summit cornered me. Talent like yours? Risky hire. Jamie overheard. Fire in his eyes. Screw them. We'll start our own thing, podcast maybe. Real stories. No filters. Ambition sparked, humanistic core gleaming. Turning pain to platform. Yet betrayal's echo lingered, trust a fragile rebuild. Back in LA, idol shattered. A call from NYC. Dad, voice quavering. Jamie's father, heart attack. Bad. He's asking for you both. The pull tore. Family ties frayed but familial, Jamie's grief a siren. We flew east. Red ice blurring resolve. Hospital vigil. Beeps and bleach. Mr. Riley pale in starched sheets. Eyes softening at Jamie's vigil. To me, heard. Everything. Sorry, kid. For the emails. For me. Forgiveness rippled outward. Water under the bridge, I murmured. Jamie squeezed my hand. Silent vow. But climax crested at the brownstone. Post-funeral wake. Relatives milling, casseroles congealing. Dad pulled me aside, scotch in hand. Proud son. Really. But Jamie solid, yeah. Yeah. The affirmation bridged. Mom hugged him later. Tentative. Welcome to the mess. Yet, in the guest room that night, Jamie confessed fracture. Dad's last words, don't repeat my mistakes, means letting go of hiding. But the bar? They know now. Tips halved. Might need to relocate. Relocate. To LA? The question hung, romantic horizon beckoning. We could build here, or there. Together. His kiss sealed it, deep, declarative. Together. January 2016 dawned in dual cities. A bicoastal tango of tentative tomorrows. Jamie gave notice at the speakeasy. Chasing sunsets, not shifts. And crash-landed in my WeHo sublet. Duffel unpacked into drawers like roots seeking soil. LA welcomed him warily. Auditions for bartender gigs in Silver Lake lounges, where his East Coast grit charmed amid the kale smoothie set. Mornings, we'd hike Griffith Park, City Bowl unspooling below, plotting our podcast, Unfiltered Bonds. Raw convos on friendship's fault lines, love's labyrinths. No monetization yet, just mics in a closet studio, voices overlapping like healing scars. Family threads mended unevenly. Mom hosted a neutral ground dinner in NYC during his visit. Roast chicken, no candles, Becca's Liam as icebreaker. Dad thought over steaks. Heard you're starting a thing. Need investors. Business, not bias, progress. Jamie's siblings trickled acceptance. A sister's brunch. As long as you're happy, bro. Humanistic ripples. Loss forging links, not chains. But conflict coiled. Dramatic undercurrents. February brought a sponsor nibble for the pod, a queer wellness brand. But strings attached, toned down the betrayal arcs. Too heavy. Integrity clashed commerce. We debated late, wine-fueled. Sell out a bit? Jamie ventured. Bills wait for no one. No. My stance hardened. Birthdays blade fresh. This is our truth. Take it or leave. He relented, but tension simmered. His job hunt stalling. My out west role expanding to travel. Absences breeding doubt. One night, post-argument over takeout tacos, he snapped, "You're pulling away, like I did." Echoes of Forest Park. Trusts earned jam. Daily. The fracture peaked in March. Spring blooms mocking our wilt. A callback audition for him, a craft cocktail gig at a Sunset Strip hotspot, but callback meant schmoozing, industry glad-handing. He returned late, cologne mingling with strangers, my paranoia flaring. Who was she? The networking contact. His laugh died. Jealous? After everything. Trauma's a bitch. Vulnerability weaponized. Emails to your dad, that wasn't just panic. It was choice. He recoiled, face crumpling. I'm here fighting, and you throw that. The fight escalated, words as shrapnel. My insecurities lancing his efforts, his defenses dredging my walls. Door slammed. He crashed on the couch, I in bed alone. Ceiling fan whirring recriminations. Dawn brought silence heavier than shouts. Mediation came via Lena. Channel it. Pod episode. Relapse and repair. We recorded raw. Microphones hot with hurt. Laughter threading tears. Listeners surged. This is real. Thank you. Validation viscous as balm. April unfurled forgiveness. A weekend in Big Sur. Highway 1 curving like spines realigning. Ocean crashes drowned doubts. We hiked Pfeiffer Beach, purple sands shifting underfoot. Remember the pier? He asked, waves lapping ankles. Every scar, hand in his ring glinting. But look, still standing. Romance rekindled gentle. Picnics in Echo Park, his head on my lap to indie folk strums. Stargazing in Joshua Tree, meteor wishes whispered. No rush to labels, just us. Humanistic in its humility. Yet suspense shadowed. The video's ghost resurfaced in May. A true crime pod dissecting the Astoria affair as digital age betrayal. Hosts speculated wildly, revenge plots, hidden affairs. Our names redacted but recognizable. Backlash hit. Out west donors wavering. Too controversial. Jamie's new boss fielded whispers. Tips dipping again. Climax brewed at a pride panel in West Hollywood. Us as speakers. From betrayal to brotherhood. Crowd electric. Flags waving. Cheers thundering. Midway, a heckler, faceless in the throng, shouted. Was it worth selling out your friend? Jamie froze mid-sentence. I gripped the podium, pulse roaring. Worth? Nothing's black and white. Betrayal broke us, but choice rebuilt. Spotlight swiveled. The heckler stepped forward. Marco, aged and ashen, mic in hand from the audience row. Alex, Jamie. His voice cracked over speakers. I've been clean 6 months. A made me face it, the video, the jokes. Ruined lives. Mine too. Applause faltered to hush. Forgive me. Theater held breath. Jamie stepped to the edge, extending hand. Water under. Help us tell better stories. Handshake sealed. Redemption arc. Live. Crowd erupted, rainbows raining confetti. Backstage, Marco hugged me fierce. You too? Inspiration. June's solstice sun-crowned renewal. Podcast hit 10K downloads. Sponsors circled sand strings. We moved to a Echo Park bungalow. Succulents in pots, porch swing for sunset swings. Family converged for a low-key barbecue. Mom and dad tentative toasters. Becca's clan chaotic joy. Jamie's kin via video link. Dad clinked bottles. To second chances. And whatever this city's got next. Suspense dissolved into steady. Jamie's bar thrived, mixology classes on weekends. My role at Out West evolved to director, scripting futures for youth. Emotions deepened, romantic and quiet. His coffee runs, my post-its of poems tucked in lunch bags. Humanistic core. We'd lost everything that birthday, but gained selves, flawed, fierce, intertwined. July 25th approached, my 26th the reclamation. No cake knives, no family interrogations. Just us on that Brooklyn pier, flown east for symmetry. City hummed indifferent. We sat knees touching, rings catching dusk. 1 year, he murmured. From lost to this. To us. I leaned, kissed salt-kissed by river spray. No hooks, just horizon vast and viable. Back in LA, the pod's milestone EP, Full Circle. Listeners wrote, "You gave me courage to come out. Echoes of our wreckage, alchemized to light. Ending humanistic, laced with hope's quiet by. Not fairy tale flawless, but earned scars as stars, guiding through American tempests. We'd lost the world once. Now we built one, hand in scarred hand. And in that, everything gained.